So you want to do multiple different things, balance all the different aspects of your life, have it all together, do great at work or studying and still find time for exercising, for socializing, for your hobbies. But in reality, if you're doing great in one aspect of your life, usually everything else is kind of lagging behind. For instance, if you are doing great at work, you don't have time for socializing, you don't even have time for self-care. And that is a bum of a situation. Well, the solution to this problem is having the right set of routines that help you plan and manage all the different aspects of your life without taking up too much of your time or making you feel like you are going crazy. And the 6 routines that I'll be discussing in this video help you do just that. They don't take more than 15 to 20 minutes of your time and you only need to do them like once a month. If you want, you can schedule all 6 of them on one day of the month. I personally like to do 1 or 2 of these a week, and that way I am never too overwhelmed. This is priority number 1 at the beginning of the month, involves paying all your bills, budgeting, saving, investing, all of that good stuff so that you're sorted for the rest of the month and you don't have to constantly keep worrying about your bank balance. Now, if you're somebody who has not started working yet, you can directly skip to step 3. But even if you get pocket money, like even if you earn through pocket money or allowance, I would suggest listening to this point. It does take a little bit of time to build if you're just starting out, but once you're done, like once you're doing this for 2 or 3 months, you are completely sorted for life. So what do you do as a part of this routine? Step 1, pay yourself first. This should be priority number 1. You are doing all of this hard work to make the money that you're making. So it is only natural for you to pay yourself, right? So 10% of your income goes directly to your personal fund. This could be an RD. This could be a separate bank account. I personally use a separate bank account. And this is money for you to use however you see fit. Step 2 is check for pending invoices or pending payments. Now, I'm a freelancer and a content creator, so my money is not something that comes like a salary at the beginning or the end of the month. It comes throughout the months in different increments from different clients, right? So at the end of the month, I will sit down and see if there are any pending invoices to be sent out. If there are, I will send those out. If there are any reminders to be sent out for people who have to pay me still, I will do that as well. Again, takes 5 minutes and keeps you sorted for the rest of the month. Step 3 is to pay your bills, obviously, which is a no-brainer. You have to pay your bills. But one little hack that actually simplifies this process is to consolidate all your bill payments on one payment app or payment portal. I personally like to use Paytm because the interface is nice. I'm so used to it and it keeps sending me these little reminders that my bill payments are due. So that just keeps me on track. And I have also gone ahead and consolidated the dates, which means I have gone ahead and shifted the dates of my bills to fall in the same week, which means I can pay them all together and I don't have to do it throughout the month. And this stands true especially for credit cards. Unka bill payment cycle, if you just sync up, it makes life a lot easier. Step 4 is saving and investing. I am personally a passive investor, which means that I like to invest in mutual funds and instruments of long-term investment. And I put my investment, let's stay there till it's making money and then take it out. I don't do day trading or investing. And that is why I like to set up SIPs or systematic investment plans. And I do this at a set date every month, like it gets auto debited from my bank account. And I also use one single app for all of my investment because I think that's just way easier than using multiple different apps. I am not that person who can. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but it's just easier for me to manage my money if everything is on one single portal or platform. And it just makes it a lot easier. This brings us to step 5, which is planning and budgeting for the coming month. So if you have any big spends, if you know that there's certain kharcha that is going to happen, if you have an upcoming trip or you know that there's an expense in the near future, plan ahead for it. Maybe set aside money from the money that you've received so that you know that this is going towards that and you don't touch that money. If you just do this little bit of planning, and it again literally takes 5 minutes. If you do this, you are actually very headache free for the rest of the month. Put money into your emergency fund, analyze last month's spends, just check your bank account statements and your credit card statements to see if you've overspent anywhere. If you have, it's a good idea to cut back right now. And that basically allows you to balance your income and your expenses in the short term itself. Like that gap does not keep intensifying day on day and month on month till it becomes so large that you're not able to deal with it. Now, this has become my favorite thing to do in the past couple of months because it really helps me assess my progress. I love working. I love my work. And this really gives me insight into what's working, what's not working, if my work is aligning with my goals, all of that good stuff. So a couple of things that I like to do as a part of my work management routine is one, analyze the pain points that I faced in the last month. For instance, I was struggling with finishing scripts on time or getting edits out on time because of the workload. So I sat down, spent 10 minutes understanding why this was happening and then outlining steps that I can take in the coming month to tackle these, right? This might include working with scriptwriters or researchers or working with multiple editors, etc. Outsourcing more of my work so that I have more time to focus on the things that are moving the needle. The second thing I do here is just go over my achievements and learning experiences. Now, this is so important because more often than not, we just forget to celebrate how far we have come. And since a lot of us spend a lot of time working for us, that's like 80% of our monthly time spent is working. Our achievements actually compound much quicker than we think they do. And if you're just analyzing those on a monthly basis, it's a great boost of motivation. It's just such a nice feeling and it helps keep you motivated to stay on track. And similarly, I also look at the things that I learned. I take notes, I consolidate all of the information that is worth learning and then maybe put it in a Notion doc so that if I want to refer to it in the future, I have it ready at hand. And third, I like to do an assessment of things that are not working or not aligning with my long-term goals. Maybe it's certain tasks, maybe it's a client, maybe it's something else. Just going over the work month and analyzing what didn't quite feel right and why it didn't feel right. And that's super helpful, generally speaking. And finally, I overview the skills I learned in the month and what I can allot time to learning in the coming month. So last month, for example, I focused on improving my script writing and my research, for example. This month, I am taking a positive psychology course. And that just helps keep your brain active as well so that you're not just a dud and doing the same thing over and over again. This is basically a health assessment. This is not your fitness routine or your nutrition routine. Most people are so busy with their lives that they only pay attention to their body if something is drastically wrong. But doing a monthly health assessment basically helps prevent anything from going drastically wrong. So that is the point of doing this on a month-to-month basis. So a few routine things that you should definitely do is one, track your weight and your measurements. You can maintain an Excel sheet or a Notion sheet to do this. I am using the Ankur Warikoo sheet that he shared in his free at 40 video. Love that. There are also multiple free templates available on Notion, so you can do that as well. Now, if you're not trying to actively gain or lose weight, even then this is a good idea because it just helps you understand if there's a sudden fluctuation in your body measurement or body dynamic, and that might signal to a health issue or an underlying health condition that you can then get checked out, right? The next thing you want to do is track your other physical health metrics like your sleep patterns, your heart health, your aerobic fitness, level of physical activity, daylight exposure, all of this thing. Now, having a tracker like this, like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, etc., is a great way to track all of these metrics because it just keeps happening on the back end. You don't have to actively mentally spend time thinking about it. If you don't have the budget right now, go ahead, again, you can make an Excel sheet or just take a look at your sleep patterns through the months, through the weeks, just to get a fair idea of how your health is going. So if you're having sleep issues, it might be time to consult a doctor and figure out why that is happening. If your heart health is not the best, which means you don't have a lot of stamina or your heartbeat fluctuates a lot, that could signal to another potential health issue. So it's just a good idea to be on top of these things, and wearing a fitness tracker is one of the easiest ways to do this. You can get the cheaper ones as well. They also measure, maybe not as accurately, but they can still give you a fair idea of what is going on inside your body, right? The next thing you want to do is figure out if any adjustments need to be made in your routine, in your lifestyle to fix any issues that might have cropped up, right? So let's say that suddenly you realize that last month you didn't sleep really well. What are the measures that you can take in the coming months to ensure that your sleep pattern gets back on track or that you're sleeping well enough? Or maybe let's say you gained a couple of kilos. So you look back on your week and analyze why that happened. Maybe you ate out a lot that month and that is why you ended up putting on 2-3 kilos. So this month you can make a couple of adjustments to your diet, to your nutrition, to your fitness routine so that it doesn't go overboard. It doesn't get to a stage where it is not manageable anymore, right? Next, you need to assess your body for any marks, pain, injuries, or patterns that don't seem normal, like sudden hair fall, or maybe change in the color of moles on your skin, or any painful lumps that might have grown, painful points in the bodies. Ladies, please conduct a thorough breast and vaginal exam every single month. I will link videos down below in the description that can help you learn how to do this by yourself, because that's very, very important. If anything seems out of the ordinary, if something happens that is not normal, please book an appointment with your doctor and go get checked out ASAP. Do not wait for things to get worse. Speaking of doctor appointments, check if you have any upcoming doctor appointments like the dentist or the gynecologist. Make sure you schedule those into your calendar beforehand so that you do not miss them. You go to the doctor on the day that you're scheduled to go. Also, check if you're out of your regular medication, or if there are supplements that you take on a regular basis. If you're out of those, go ahead, order those, put reminders to purchase them, etc. All of that. Ideally, you should also be logging your workouts on a daily basis if you are working out, and then also assess your fitness plan each month to understand if it is aligning with your goals. Did you see progress in the last month? If you did not, do you want to change something, or maybe consult a trainer or a nutritionist and work accordingly, right? And finally, my lovely people, take stock of your kitchen items. Purge your cabinets of unhealthy stuff that might be you are munching on unintentionally, right? Do an overview of your meal plan, stock up on your ration, etc. And this way, you are good to go for your physical health for the next month. Now, we often manage to find time for everything except our mental health. So scheduling 1 hour once a month to assess where you are mentally is a great way to go about it. And here are a few things that you should consider doing. One is journaling, to look back on the month to see what were the things that energized you, what drained you of energy, what were your stressors, etc. Doing this gives you an overall holistic point of view on what's working and what is not working for you, what is causing you to get overly stressed out, etc. I love doing this exercise. I also like to assess if there are stressors that I cannot handle by myself. If there's anything that requires outside intervention, meaning if there's anything that requires me to go to a therapist and talk to them if I'm not able to handle it myself, right? And then I go ahead and book it right away. The second thing you want to look at is what time did you actually take off for your mental health during the previous month? Did you do anything to reduce stress? Did you take regular breaks? Did you schedule self-reflection time? And if you didn't do that, it's an indicator that you need to do it this month. You need to take active measures to balance that out this month. Another great way to stay on top of your mental health is to schedule mental health days in your calendar. These can be however frequent you want them to be. I feel like I need one mental health day like once in 15 days. And this is a day where I don't think about work, where I just chill, veg out in front of the TV. I will sit, watch my favorite movies or my favorite shows. And this just allows me to recover from all of the work stress without burning out. And it really helps to pre-schedule this stuff so that you don't forget to do it. Now, this is basically the high maintenance stuff that you do once a month so that you can be low maintenance and chilled out for the rest of the month. And this is perhaps the only one that takes longer than like 15 minutes. I personally like to schedule like one whole weekend to do this, and this ensures that I'm feeling and looking my best for the rest of the time, right? So this looks like restocking on my skincare, my body care, my hair care items, my makeup items, whatever has finished, whatever needs to be replenished, I go ahead and order that. At the same time, cleansing my makeup brushes, throwing away empty containers, etc. Everything is part of this routine, right? I also schedule time to get my nails, my pedicures, facials, etc. all of that jazz done. And if all of that can be done in one single day, that actually saves me a lot of time, and it's like one self-pamper spa day, right? I also try and get a massage done once every month because I work out a lot, and that just helps with lymphatic drainage. As for haircuts, I personally don't need them every month because katwa bhi leto to same hi lagta hai baal, so that's more like once in 3 months sort of activity. And then in addition to this, there's times taking beauty treatment like hair spas or skin detoxes, etc. if you want to do them every month. So those you can schedule for one particular day, right? Now, coming to the feminine hygiene part, once a month, consider washing or sanitizing all of your undergarments with regular detergent plus an antiseptic detergent, and then making sure that you dry them out in the sun because sun's rays have antibacterial properties. They disinfect, kill all of the bacteria. If that's not possible, having a dryer system is also great, and that also works really well. Basically, ensuring that you're just disinfecting all of your delicate wear so that you don't end up with yeast or fungal infections. Now this is so important, especially if you've been living in one place for a very long time, because we don't even realize how much stuff and dirt gets accumulated over time. Now this is also like your beauty maintenance routine and takes slightly longer, so it's best to take out a day once a month and get everything done. I schedule bathroom and balcony deep cleanings. On Urban Clap, I love Urban Clap. It is such a lifesaver. Once a month I do this to ensure that everything is clean, organized, disinfected. Love it. I also restock on all my bathroom necessities, soaps, detergents, bathroom cleaners, all of that. Reorganizing my kitchen with the help of my cook didi to ensure there's nothing in the cabinets at the back that's not getting used and getting spoiled. If there is something that is getting spoiled, disposing it off properly. Then doing a home deep cleaning, like wiping all of the corners, ensuring that there are no cobwebs. There is one that is growing right there and I have to get it after this, so that's what I'm gonna do. Washing the foot mats, vacuuming the curtains, the sofas, basically ensuring all of the dust is removed from everywhere. And if there is still time left, I will reorganize a cupboard or a cabinet that got messed up. I don't do all the cupboards every single month, but it's more like one cupboard in one particular month and then moving on to another one. And that just ensures that through the year, my home is very organized, very clean, very spick and span, and I don't have to do this ordeal, you know, together once in a year where everything is very overwhelming. And yes, of course, there's plant maintenance as well. So pruning leaves, airing the soil, putting them in sunlight for some time. This is a recent thing. Since my love for plants has grown, I have become slightly more responsible, but I love doing it. And I just ordered a lot of stuff from Ogao as well to take care of the few plants that I have at home. Now, if you are new to creating routines or organizing your life, I would suggest starting with the area that is most chaotic for you right now. When I started doing this, my most chaotic area was my finances, because I was making money and then I was just spending it left, right and center. I didn't know how to save. I didn't know how to invest. I just paid my bills and I spent the rest of it. So now that I have a money management routine, it just saves me so much headache. It makes sure that I also have money saved for a rainy day. I just am very proud of myself for building these routines. So if you have not started, I would highly recommend starting with your most chaotic one, because once you handle that, everything will become much easier to deal with. And think of it like a 6-month project where you create one routine, perfect it, and then you move on to the next one. And after that, it takes very little time every month to do this. Just 15-20 minutes per routine, and that's not a lot at all. And you end up feeling so much more in control of your life. You will absolutely love it, okay? Now, let me know in the comments which routine you are going to start with next. And then go ahead and check out this video next, because YouTube says that you are going to love it. And I am going to see you guys very soon with another one next week. Bye, take care.